The world of hip-hop and boxing just collided in the most shocking way imaginable. Claressa Shields, the undefeated champion known as the GOAT, is no stranger to pressure inside the ring. But this time, she wasn't fighting an opponent, she was fighting tears. In a heartbreaking livestream, Claressa Shields broke down in front of millions, begging Remy Ma for forgiveness. And her reason: to free Papoose from jail. The video spread like wildfire, igniting confusion, outrage, and sympathy across the internet. How did Papoose, the loyal king of hip-hop love, end up behind bars? Why was Claressa, a champion with nothing to prove, pleading so desperately with Remy Ma? And most importantly, what truth lies behind this twisted triangle of loyalty, betrayal, and redemption? The answers are darker than anyone expected, and the fallout could change everything for Remy, Papoose, and Claressa forever. The internet has seen countless viral moments, but nothing could have prepared fans for the sight of Claressa Shields, the undefeated boxing champion, a woman celebrated for her strength, grit, and dominance, sitting in front of her phone camera, tears streaming down her face. The woman who had faced the hardest punches in the ring now faced something she couldn't fight her way out of: heartbreak, guilt, and desperation. On Instagram Live, Claressa whispered words that sent shockwaves through hip-hop and sports alike. "Remy, please forgive me, please do it for Papoose. He doesn't deserve this. Let him go." The comments section exploded instantly. Thousands of viewers flooded the live stream with shocked emojis, demands for answers, and accusations that tore through the fragile air Claressa had just created. In a matter of minutes, the video spread across Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube, sparking one of the most chaotic nights in entertainment history. Papoose in jail, the unthinkable 4 years. Papoose had been celebrated as the loyal husband, the protector, the man who stood firm in his values even as the world around him tested his patience. To hear that he was sitting in a jail cell was unthinkable. But according to early reports, the incident stemmed from a heated confrontation backstage during a private industry event. Witnesses claimed tensions between Remy Ma and Claressa Shields, tensions already brewing online, erupted into a full-blown shouting match. When Papoose intervened to break it up, security got involved. Chaos broke out, and somehow, it was Papoose who ended up being taken away in handcuffs. The charges were unclear, the details foggy, but the image of Papoose being escorted out by police was enough to set the culture on fire. Claressa's tears what made Claressa's live stream so shocking wasn't just her plea, it was her vulnerability. This was a woman who had been through it all: Olympic gold medals, world championships, grueling battles in the ring. Yet in this moment, her fists couldn't help her. Her belts couldn't protect her. She begged Remy Ma not as a rival, but as a woman. "Please, Remy. I never meant for it to go this far. I never wanted him caught in the middle. You know he doesn't deserve this." The cracks in her voice revealed something deeper than guilt. Too many fans, it sounded like confession. The fans react. The internet has no mercy, and within minutes, hashtags were trending worldwide. Hashtag free PAPOOSE, hashtag CLARESS, A breaks down, hashtag Remy forgives. Some fans sided with Claressa, praising her for putting pride aside to fight for Papoose's freedom. Others tore into her, accusing her of being the very reason Papoose was in jail in the first place. "Don't cry now," one fan wrote. "Too late for tears, champ." Another added, "Chi begging. So you know there's truth to this." A tweet with 20,000 likes read, "The court of public opinion was in full session, and Claressa was both the defendant and the star witness." Remy Ma's silence as Claressa poured her heart out online. The world waited for Remy Ma's response, but none came. Not a tweet, not a post, not even a subtle Instagram story. For someone as outspoken and sharp-tongued as Remy, her silence was deafening. To some, that silence was power, a way of controlling the narrative and letting Claressa unravel on her own. To others, it was guilt, an unspoken admission that maybe she held the keys to Papoose's fate, and in that silence, the tension only grew stronger. A marriage on the line for Papoose, being behind bars, wasn't just about the physical cell. It was about the emotional prison of seeing his name dragged into a feud that he never asked for. Friends close to him revealed that the stress had been building for months, between the rumors, the whispers, and the confrontations. Papoose had been holding the weight of two women's pride on his shoulders. Now, that weight had crushed him into a jail cell. And with Claressa publicly begging, and Remy privately stewing, the marriage between Papoose and Remy stood on the edge of collapse. The industry watches. The story wasn't just a tabloid scandal, it was a cultural moment. Hip-hop outlets, sports networks, and mainstream media all picked up the story. TMZ ran it as breaking news. ESPN even mentioned it, calling Claressa's breakdown a rare moment where a champion revealed the limits of her strength. Meanwhile, hip-hop bloggers dissected every frame of Claressa's video, slowing it down to catch every word, every tear, every glance away from the camera. The industry wasn't just watching, it was feeding on the chaos. The question everyone's asking as the live stream ended and Claressa disappeared from the screen. One question echoed louder than the rest. What exactly does Remy Ma need to forgive her for? Because forgiveness implies wrongdoing. It implies that something happened beyond words, beyond misunderstandings. Something real, and if Claressa was begging for forgiveness, not just for herself but for Papoose's freedom, then maybe, just maybe, the confession fans had been whispering about for months had some truth to it. The culture wasn't ready for that answer, but it was coming. The live stream ended, but the storm had only just begun. Claressa Shields, the undefeated champion of the ring, had just done something far more vulnerable than stepping between the ropes. She had bared her soul to millions, begging Remy Ma for forgiveness, and the ripple effects shook the culture to its core. The clip that broke the internet within hours. Clips of the live stream spread across every corner of social media. Twitter was ablaze with hot takes. TikTok creators turned Claressa's sobs into reaction memes, and YouTubers uploaded hour-long breakdowns speculating on the hidden truth behind her tears. But the moment that struck hardest was the line that echoed through every platform. Please, Remy, do it for Papoose. He doesn't deserve this. It wasn't just a plea, it was a confession in disguise. Fans dissected her tone, her body language, her choice of words. And what they found only deepened the mystery. Remy Ma breaks her silence. 3 days later, Remy Ma finally addressed the situation. She didn't go live, she didn't post a video. Instead, she dropped a short, cold tweet that read, "Forgiveness isn't begged for online. It's earned in real life." The tweet racked up over 1 million views in less than an hour. Fans immediately interpreted it as confirmation that Claressa had done something real, something Remy had not yet forgiven. Some praised Remy for holding her ground. Others accused her of being cruel, of letting her husband suffer just to prove a point. But one thing was clear, Remy wasn't backing down. Claressa's second breakdown, able to stay silent. Claressa went live again. This time, her tears were even heavier, her words sharper, her desperation clearer. "I'm not doing this for me," she cried. "I'm doing this because Papoose is innocent. He should not be in that cell because of something between me and her. I'll take the blame, I'll take the heat, but please just let him go free." The boxing champ, who had once been feared in every ring, was now on her knees digitally, stripped of her pride. And while some fans applauded her courage, others couldn't shake the feeling that these weren't just crocodile tears. Was she begging because she truly cared for Papoose, or because she knew something darker was about to come out? Papoose speaks from jail in a shocking twist. An audio recording leaked from Papoose's phone call in jail. In it, his voice was calm but heavy. "I'll get through this. But all I ask is, stop using my name to clean up your mess. My name don't belong in this. Y'all turned me into a pawn in a game I never wanted to play." The recording spread instantly, and fans couldn't believe what they heard. Papoose wasn't just hurt, he was done. Done being the glue holding a toxic feud together. Done being the man caught in the middle of women who refused to settle their war. The collapse fans had seen weeks earlier now made sense. The streets react on, the streets of New York, barbershops buzzed. In Detroit, where Claressa held her roots, fans debated whether she had tarnished her legacy, and in hip-hop spaces online, the story overtook everything. Some saw Claressa as a tragic figure, a champion who let pride destroy everything she touched. Others saw Remy Ma as a cold-hearted queen, unwilling to bend even for the man who had built her legacy alongside her. And almost everyone agreed, Papoose didn't deserve this. The forgiveness that never came weeks turned into months. And still, no forgiveness came. Claressa fought to repair her image, but every public appearance carried the shadow of her breakdown. Remy doubled down, releasing music that many interpreted as subliminal shots, lines about betrayal, strength, and never bowing to public pressure. But through it all, Papoose remained silent, the man who had always been vocal about love, loyalty, and family disappeared into the shadows. Fans wondered if his silence was the loudest message of all that his loyalty had limits, and this betrayal had finally crossed them. The twist then came, the twist no one expected. Court documents leaked, showing that Papoose's charges had quietly been dropped. He was free. No press conference, no announcement, just free. But instead of celebrating, Papoose made one move that shocked everyone. He unfollowed both Remy Ma and Claressa Shields on Instagram. For the man who once preached about unity, loyalty, and love, that unfollow spoke volumes. It wasn't just about freedom, it was about liberation from a cycle of lies, denials, and manipulations that had turned his life into a public circus. Legacy in question: Claressa may still be undefeated in the ring, but her legacy outside of it now carries a scar. Remy Ma may still be a respected voice in hip-hop, but fans question whether her silence was strength or cruelty. And Papoose, he remains the tragic hero of the story. A man who gave his all, stood tall for years, and collapsed only when the weight became too heavy. To some, he's broken. To others, he's finally free. But one thing is certain, this story isn't just about music or boxing. It's about loyalty, betrayal, and the cost of truth in a world that never forgets. Call to action: 150 words. This story leaves us with a question only you can answer. Was Claressa Shields truly seeking forgiveness? Or was her breakdown a performance to control the narrative? Was Remy Ma right to stand her ground? Or did her silence push Papoose deeper into pain he didn't deserve? And most importantly, will Papoose ever trust again after being dragged into a battle that shattered his loyalty? Your thoughts matter. Drop a comment below and let us know where you stand in this cultural storm. Do you believe Claressa deserves forgiveness? Should Remy let go for the sake of Papoose? Or has too much damage been done to ever go back? If this story shook you, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter in hip-hop's most dramatic saga. Because trust us, the truth is still unfolding.